An Australian television journalist was hit in the leg by a rubber bullet Sunday while reporting live from downtown Los Angeles on the large-scale protests over President Donald Trump's immigration crackdown and subsequent deployment of California National Guard troops to the city. According to Associated Press, the video shows 9 News correspondent Lauren Tomasi, microphone in hand, reporting live when an officer behind her suddenly raises their firearm and fires a non-lethal round at close range. Tomasi cries out in pain and clutches her lower leg as she and her cameraman quickly move away from the police line. The demonstrations, which began with a few hundred people on Friday, had swelled by Sunday to thousands of people who blocked a major freeway and set several self-driving cars on fire.
After hours of standing off, this situation has now rapidly deteriorated. The LAPD moving in on horseback, firing rubber bullets at protesters, moving them on through the heart of LA.
You just shut the You okay?
I'm good.
Are you okay?
Where did it hit you? Just my leg, I'm good.
Fascists! Report that they're fascists! You're okay. You're not okay. You're hurt. Fascists!
Former spokesman for the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, retired Colonel, military expert Vladislav Zelensky, commented on the new attack on Russian facilities in the Black Sea and the Crimean Bridge. We don't yet know the exact level of damage on the Crimean Bridge because the explosion occurred underwater. Damage is not visible on the surface of the water. It is difficult to say what exactly was damaged underwater. I think the Russians are currently conducting an expert assessment, but they are unlikely to share this data with the general public, he emphasized in an interview with Glavred. The expert says that one of the supports of the automobile part of the Crimean Bridge is probably damaged, but the railway connection apparently was not seriously damaged, so the bridge's capacity has not decreased. It can be assumed that this was a trial run, most likely with the use of an underwater unmanned strike system. I think that in the future, such systems will be used to continue to destroy critically important elements for the functioning of the bridge. In particular, we are talking about the key supports on which the arch of the Kherson Bridge rests, under which all ships heading to the waters of the Sea of Azov and in the opposite direction pass. If these supports are seriously damaged, there will no longer be talk of the usual mode of movement. Transport communication will either be completely stopped or permanently limited, he is sure. The interlocutor clarifies that the defense forces are actively working on implementing this very task. In the case of this operation, the SBU is involved, but undoubtedly a number of other structures were also involved. The Navy, possibly the air component, since explosions were recorded at military airfields in occupied Crimea before the attack. This could have been aimed at reducing the activity of Russian aviation. And of course, devices such as Sea Baby and Magura V5 also participated and covered the operation from the surface of the water. Zelensky added, "It is noted that a gas production platform in the Black Sea, near temporarily occupied Crimea, was on fire. The facility had been used by Russian forces for military purposes." The Crimean Wind Monitoring Group said that a naval engagement occurred in the area. However, details regarding the forces and assets involved remain unknown. Russia has been using gas production platforms in the Black Sea for military purposes. These platforms are used to deploy troops, install small radar systems for monitoring air and surface activity, signal relays for drones, and reconnaissance equipment to track the movements of Ukrainian forces. It is worth noting that a previous strike on Russian-occupied gas platforms took place on May the 19th. During that operation, the Neva radar, storage facilities, and a residential unit were destroyed. The operation, carried out by the 13th Main Directorate of the Military Counterintelligence Department of the Security Service of Ukraine, was conducted using both naval and aerial drones. Within a single special operation, the SSU specialists used 2 types of drones which demonstrated the effectiveness of working in tandem. We once again reminded the enemy that no Russian trash has a special place in the Black Sea, said the Security Service of Ukraine.
On June 9th, the city of Kazan, the capital of the Russian Republic of Tatarstan, was attacked by drones. Local telegram channels reported this. The city was on alert for several hours. Local residents reported that after the attack, a fire was observed in the area where the gunpowder plant and ammunition depots were located, and explosions were heard. The Kazan gunpowder plant plays a significant role in supplying the Russian army. A large fire also broke out in a paint shop in the city. Local residents point to the drone attack as the cause of the fire. It is said that there were no casualties during the fire, which covered an area of 500 square meters. The Russian side does not disclose the cause of the fire. It should be noted that the city of Kazan is located 1,370 kilometers from the border with Ukraine. As said, Kazan gunpowder plant is one of the backbones of Russia's defense industry. Without it, mass production of ammunition would be impossible. Kazan gunpowder plant, a key facility in Russia's military-industrial complex specializing in explosives, rocket fuels, and other critical components for the Russian army. The plant supplies ammunition and materials needed to produce various types of missiles, including Kalibr and Iskander missiles.
Что-то горит, и по звукам как будто даже что-то взрывается. Вот, очень сильный дым валит.
Хорошо дымит.